good it feels to be here tonight on the stage. Thank you so much for bringing me back. Something you have no idea what this means to me.
You know what I'm going to say? The one thing I'm going to say to you is that that person that's talking right now, I'm so glad that person came in here tonight.
Hi everyone, it's Elaine Sarantakos, Fabulous Living Coach. Okay, so if you don't know this, I've auditioned to be a travel host for an online travel reality show.
I dreamed of this moment all of my life.
So they're looking for 2 hosts, a guy and a girl, to be in Europe, 12 cities in 3 months. So when I heard about this, I was so happy. I was so excited, especially because in August I did a psychic workshop, and it was about, listening to your intuition, following messages, things like this. And one of the things, I was supposed to put out 4 things that I wanted to manifest into my life. And I wrote, I want to have a travel reality show showing authentic travel experiences online and on TV around the world within 7 months. So that was the beginning of August. And more towards the end of August, somebody sent me a Facebook message and said, Elaine, please look at this link. This is so you have to apply for it. So I was so excited when they called me back, because I was thinking, oh my God, like my show, if you've seen my YouTube videos this whole year, like I have videos from everywhere, I'm like, this is so me, this is something that I want. So I call my grandma. So I call her. My grandma's Greek. I'm Greek, and I'm like, yeah, which means grandma. I'm like, guess what? Like I have a travel audition, like for this show. And then so what did she tell me? She's like, how many people are going to be like auditioning? And I'm like, I don't know, of like a few hundred people. And she said to me, okay, so there's this saying in Greek, and it's like makari. So she said to me, makari παιδί μου, like makari means kind of like hopefully my my child, but you don't have lots of chance, but good luck. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, how do you say something like that? And she's like, hey, you try, but there's so many people, so good luck. And I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah, like you are so not driving me to this audition. Then she asked me, she's like, can I come to the audition? She thinks it's the X Factor. I'm like, Grandma, there's like nobody. She thinks I'm going to be like on TV. She actually even said, she goes, too bad, like it's not on TV, your audition. So I'm thinking, okay, whatever. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you, there were times when rehearsing for this that I swear I thought I was gonna shit myself. I was gonna shit my pants. Actually, no, tell you the truth, my stomach was going and then I had to go to the washroom. It happened probably like 10 times, like I'm like, wow, I'm like, I guess I really want this show. Like, I don't know like what's happening. So I'd be rehearsing for this monologue, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, and I'd like pause and I'd like get stuck. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, could you imagine that I'm like there in front of the 2 producers, and I'm like, so, this past June I was in Granada, Spain, looking for my next nights of accommodation, and I'm like, one moment. So then all of a sudden all of this fear came in within me, and I thought to myself, like, what if situation. So I was thinking to myself, could you imagine I have this audition, and then I'm like, I have to go to the washroom. I'm so nervous. Oh my God, I have like anxiety. And then I go to the washroom, and then there's like no toilet paper in any of the stalls. I swear, like my head, I thought about this, and then I thought, you know what, that's it. I'm going to bring toilet paper with me. So going for the audition, I actually forgot to bring toilet paper. I was at the subway, I was at Tim Hortons, at Finch Station, and then I looked at the napkins and I'm like, oh my God. So I grabbed like a whole heap of napkins, I put in my purse. I'm like, as my grandma says, you never know, you never know. I was like, which producer do I need to sleep with? I need this show. One way or another, I gotta get it. I'm just joking. I thought the audition went well. I had a really good feeling from both the producers and the assistant. However, I couldn't say, I have a second audition, because, you just never know. So just because I've traveled in this whole last year, I've been on a permanent vacation, and I've spent all my money on it, and I have 300 YouTube videos, and I love travel, and I'm the best girl for it. Doesn't mean necessarily they think that I'm the best girl for it. So I was waiting to hear back from them, and a few weeks, they said it would take a few weeks for them to select the person. So I was waiting a few weeks to hear back from them, and I didn't hear anything, but I knew that they were going to contact everybody whether they made it or they didn't. So I talked to my mom, and I'd be like, Mom, do you think they're going to call me? And she's like, yes, Elaine. I'm like, do you really think so? Mom, do you think that like I've got a second audition? I'm one of the candidates? And she's like, yes, Elaine. And then I asked her, I'm like, Mom, do you think they're going to call me? And she's like, yes, Elaine. And I'm like, okay. She's like, Elaine, how many times are you going to ask me? Do you want me to ask me again so I can tell you yes? And I'm like, okay, Mom? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, do you think they're going to call me? And she's like, yes. I'm like, okay, just have to be patient. So I wasn't really that patient. So I had a dream of one of the producers, Paul, and I had a dream and I asked him, you know, like, what's going on with the show? And he told me, like, we're just signing some things and I'll get back to you. And then, that was, I think, maybe the Wednesday. And then on the Sunday, I received an email saying that I'm a successful candidate and I've got a second audition. Oh my.
Thank you so much for bringing me back, Simon. You have no idea what this means to me.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even read the entire thing. I responded to him and I was like, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Like, I appreciate this. Like, oh my goodness. And then I got out of that email and then I read the email again and then I emailed him and I started to cry. I was like so happy. I swear it was like the X Factor. It was like I won. You know, it's like when
You know what I'm going to say? The one thing I'm going to say to you is that that person that's talking right now, I'm so glad that person came in here tonight.
I wish, well, I can't tell you my wish because when you wish upon a star, your dreams come. No, if I tell you my wish, it's not going to come true. So let me think. Let me make a good one.
If you jump in the water, you have more chances.
Elaine, my dream is coming true.